Today we're going to be going over some really long-lasting fresh fragrances that just won't leave you hanging. Because you guys kind of know the trend with a lot of fresh scents. They can be a little bit weaker compared to a lot of your winter scents. And when you're going from winter to spring/summer, you might have been used to those really long-lasting, strong 10, 12 plus hour scents that you've been wearing for the past several months. And you get into some of your fresh scents and it's like, man, these feel weaker, right? Not so much the case with these. These are ones that actually do have really, really substantial longevity. And also, a lot of these are at a pretty good price. Some a bit more expensive, couple niche in here, but a few of the designers that we have in here are really, really reasonable. We're kind of all over the board here, a little bit of variety. So we're gonna go through this video. We're not doing in any particular order. It's just kind of what I thought of and what I grabbed, and here they are. So I will link everything down below as always if you're wanting to do some shopping. Always shop through discounters. Now, this first one is niche, and it's, again, we got two of them in here. It's Parfums de Marley, Sedley. So I would say, and I've said it before, Sedley and Greenlee are just a couple of my favorites as far as their fresh offerings. Nothing wrong with Percival, nothing wrong with Galloway. They did just announce a new Parfums de Marley. I can't remember what the name is off the top of my head, but I believe it's going to be a fresh one as well, or at least it looked like it. I thought so. And I'm excited about that one, but kind of working with what we have. Perseus is another one that is okay. It's actually not one of my favorites, but man, I always go back to Sedley. This stuff is incredible. Why I like it so much, I think, is because of the green, minty geranium that this one has, which kind of takes over the scent. So it's aromatic, green, fresh, has a little bit of like a minty, refreshing bite to it when you first spray this one on. It's just something that almost cools you down instantly, when it's hot outside, talking summertime. And has a lot of ambroxan in here too, which probably is another reason why I like it so much. I like that note. I like my blue fragrances a lot. And you could kind of say that this one is somewhat in that blue fragrance category. I've always gotten great performance out of this one. Actually, most Parfums de Marley's do pretty good on my skin. Whether it's the fresher ones or the sweeter ones, they all have pretty good longevity, and this one is no exception either. So if that's gonna be, a little bit more than you're wanting to spend, totally understand. This next one from Versace is going to be quite a bit less, a lot less. And actually, testers have been coming up for, it's like 100 ml for $65 for testers, and full presentation 100 ml is not a whole lot more than that. And that price will continue to come down as it, is out for longer, because this is a relatively newer release. It's Eros Energy. So obviously last year's release that just kept getting pushed back and pushed back. It was launched like early on. I think it was launched, well, not launched. It was announced early on, like around summertime or a bit before summer. But then by the time it actually came out to where you could buy it, it was like end of the summer season. What was it, September, October or something? Like it was kind of right there on the tail end of the heat wave. And so now we're going to have a full year to really wear this one, because I think it definitely excels in the summertime. And so you've kind of seen comparisons to Creed Aventus, a bit of Mont Blanc Explorer, that sort of thing. And it really is a lemon bomb, like a lemon lime citrus banger is really what it is. I mean, it's sour, it's punchy, and it really turns heads and gets attention. And I think that this one's going to do very well, as it has some more time to gain some traction both in the community and outside of the community. Obviously, being that it's an Eros, that already gets it started on the right foot. But when more people get their hands on this one, I could see it doing really well. I also like that it's an eau de parfum. They didn't cheap out and go EDT or something. It really wouldn't shock me if we got an Eros Energy Parfum or Elixir or something. I mean, really, I don't think it would shock any of us. But yeah, it's a great performer. This eau de parfum is really, really good longevity here. Perfect for the heat coming up. Next one is Bvlgari Man Glacial Essence. You don't hear about this one too much. You don't really hear about the Bvlgari Mans in general all that often. And I think they've got a few really good ones. It's got musk, clearwood, and juniper berries. Another aromatic. really is what it is. Woody, aromatic, a little bit citrusy, kind of watery, but it's a modern day smelling scent. You know, I don't like these atomizers. That is one thing. And it's not just this one in particular, it's all of the Bvlgari man scents. You know, with this style bottle right here, they all just kind of very narrow stream. They don't have much of a mist to them. That's my only complaint with the presentation. Other than that, I like the presentation. The top actually twists and locks. So if you were to travel with that, you kind of keep it from spraying all over the inside of your bag. But back to the scent, nothing to write home about, okay? So it's not something that I hands down love, but it's a good performer, and that's kind of what we're after with this video. That is the first and main point of criteria that I'm trying to meet with this video is good longevity, and this one checks that box first and foremost. As far as, you know, scents that really blow me away and that smell amazing, this is not one of them. But again, it lasts a long time. So you kind of have to take what you get in terms of good performing summer scents like this, and that's kind of what this is. Okay, next up, now this on the other hand is one that I really, really love a ton, okay? And it's no surprise, it's Invictus Aqua 2024. So it is back. And not only is it back, but it's on discounter. So you can get it 100 ml, like $95, $96. You know, it's not a whole lot more than what Invictus Aqua 2016, 2018 used to be back when those were out and readily available. So really, it's very reasonable. I mean, you know, Invictus Aqua 2018 for the longest time, 100 ml, $80. And this is far superior to that 2018 version, and it smells basically exactly the same as the 2016. And so it's as simple as that. If you are familiar with Invictus Aqua, right, the OG frosted glass, the 2016, this 2024 travel exclusive is pretty much identical. So you're getting great performance. You're getting a very fun, fresh, playful, semi-sweet, but mostly oceanic and fresh and citrusy summer scent. It is perfect for the beach, perfect for a vacation, lake days, pool days, you name it. It just has summer fun written all over it. And again, the main thing here is going to be that performance. It's very strong. Next up, we have Afnan 9 AM Dive. So this is kind of one of those hybrid clones like I've talked about before. It doesn't smell like one thing. Instead, it smells just like something you've smelled before in the form of more than likely a few different popular scents combined into one. So, you know, when you spray this one, which is a nice atomizer on this, you get sweetness. So it's almost like a Y, Invictus-y, lemony sweetness going on. You get like a little bit of a vetiver in here as well, almost like a little bit of a kind of like a Bleu de Chanel type of smell somewhat from this grapefruit note. It's just, again, it's not one thing, it's just a bunch of things combined, mixed together to create something that is familiar. You can't quite narrow it down to one thing. And that's also not just a clone thing. That's pretty common with designer releases these days as well. A lot of things, they smell similar. It's like you've smelled it before, but you can't quite put your hand on it. That's because it just smells like a lot of things. And so that's kind of what they did here with this one. Whereas Afnan 9 PM is an ultra male clone through and through. You know, you can't deny it. It's just, it's exact. Not the case with this. And I don't think that's a bad thing, really, because I like this one. It's cheap, and by that I mean, you know, $30, $35 or so. It's got great performance, and just one thing that doesn't matter to everybody, but definitely to some, nothing at all wrong with this presentation. In fact, it doesn't look like a clone bottle. A lot of clone brands, you know, they look like clones. They look kind of out of place in your collection if you have a lot of designer scents. The bottle itself, the glass, is tinted blue. It's hard to tell on camera, but that is the case. Blue tint to the glass itself, which adds to just overall a really nice presentation. This is a great scent. Okay, next up, we're gonna go with a Creed. Yes, a Creed scent. I was reminded of how much I love this stuff, truly, just a few days ago. And, you know, I'm always wearing Creed Aventus. Most of the time, Creed Invictus. Every so often it'll be a clone or something that I throw on if it's going to be a situation where I know in a few hours I'm going to be showering, or I know it's going to get washed off or something in a pool, right? But other than that, if I'm planning on wearing it for the day, Creed Invictus. I wear the stuff a ton, right? I love it. And it's by far my favorite Creed. And then it's always, okay, what would be my second favorite? That's a hard question because I like pretty much all of them, but I love Invictus. You know, that one's easy. But honestly, if I had to choose what my second favorite Creed is, it's probably Green Irish Tweed. And it's such a simple sounding answer because it's like people think, oh, it's Davidoff Cool Water. That just isn't the case for me. You know, this is a lot different. And really what it is, it's that iris, lemon verbena, ambergris depth that this one has. And the texture and the almost kind of green, pungent smell that it has, that is just unlike anything else out there. Now, there are clones, and the clones do get very close, and you could go with some of those clones, but I'm just going for the OG because I really like it a lot. And it's kind of an easier one for me to forget about, but then every time I do revisit this one and wear it, I just can't stop smelling it. It's a really, really, really pleasing scent. And surprisingly enough, a great performer too. You know, Creed has always been kind of controversial for the fact that they charge a ton of money, they raise their prices year over year, and then a lot of their scents don't last that long. And I've always had great luck with Invictus. It's one of my longer lasting, summery, fresher scents. But Green Irish Tweed is not far behind. It's not as long lasting as Invictus, but it's pungently strong. Like, this is one where if I got it on my skin and I didn't like it, I would really have to scrub to remove it from my skin. You know, it's just, I can't say that about all Creeds or about all scents in general, but this one really does have like an oily pungency to it, if that's even a word. It's a long-lasting scent. Running down to the end here, again, no particular order. We're going to finish this off with two cheapies, really, or at least they're borderline cheapies. The first one is Missoni Parfum, a nice birch, grapefruit, woody scent that people compare to Bleu de Chanel, and it's in that vein a little bit, but also quite a bit different. It doesn't have the incense. It doesn't even have the same type of grapefruit as Bleu de Chanel, but it's kind of fresh and woody and kind of classy and modern, you know, similar to how Bleu de Chanel presents itself. But one thing is vastly different would be the price. You know, about like $35 to $40 for this, and of course Bleu de Chanel is in excess of $100. No way to get it below retail there. A Missoni Wave is really good too, and it's a favorite of mine. Doesn't quite last as long. Still respectable longevity though. You're gonna get a bit of a better potency out of Missoni Parfum here. And you could argue that this one's a little bit less summery compared to Missoni Wave, and I would agree. Missoni Wave is definitely gonna be brighter, fresher, more similar to something like Versace Pour Homme / Chanel Allure Homme Sport. But again, first thing that we're looking at here is performance, and I just see this one as a better performer and still more than enough a great summer scent. Maybe a cooler summer day, summer evening, cloudy summer day, or springtime is when I would go for this. Other options in here I would go for like a hot 90-degree sunny summer day. Okay, now let's finish this video with Polo Deep Blue Parfum. So I think you're looking at around like $40 to $50 for this. Really not bad. It's got a mango note, a lot of ambroxan in here, and then some C notes, has a saltiness to it, some citrus. If I didn't already say citrus, it's got some of that too, but it's a really interesting combo just because you don't really see mango all that often, but it is used in the Polo line. Even, I think it's Polo Double Black has like coffee and mango mixed together. It's just different, but it makes them stand out. And what I like about this one is the fact that it's a true parfum. It's kind of got that blue fragrance smell, which just means it's going to be appealing to everybody. It's got great performance and a little bit salty, you know, a little bit kind of oceanic in one way or another there. Just something that kind of separates itself a little bit from your usual blue scent. So that's why I like this one so much. And if I already didn't mention it, the price point is very appealing too, because this is it's a 125 ml bottle. Got to double check. Yeah, it is. So you're getting a little bit more bang for your buck. Alrighty guys, that's gonna do it for me. Some long lasting, strong performing, fresher spring and summertime scents. Let me know down below, what are some of your favorite long lasting spring, summer scents, whatever. And let me know what you plan on wearing for those situations where you want a long lasting, fresh scent. I will link all these down below. Thank you guys so much for watching. Stay safe, stay healthy. We'll see you tomorrow with another one. Take care.